Morning, Coach. I guess I'll come out hot today for you. Can you just talk about the weeks following, JT getting cleared? What you were looking for as far as him being game ready, and just the decision to wait till after the Florida game to give him this opportunity.
Well, we could spend a half hour to an hour really discussing what all goes into the decisions at any position to play guys. And, obviously I will just talk about JT in terms of how he handled, first of all, our recruiting process to get him here, how excited he was to be a Georgia Bulldog. The pandemic obviously was a setback in terms of his rehab, and then getting him here was probably the best thing we could do. He can speak a little bit more to that. All he did was work his rear end off to try and get healthy, to learn the offense. He's a rare individual in terms of loving football and studying the game. And he didn't get his opportunity early on. He can speak to, again, his health, but he was eventually healthy, but he requested to go down to the other end and continue to work. Obviously, you can give everybody reps, but what he did is continue to work and compete. And when his opportunity came, he took advantage of it. Obviously, there's a number of things that I'll be 55 in February that I look back on and think I would have done, should have, could have, would have, maybe done differently, but there's no sense in looking back at that. The moment JT played and prepared, it was time to move forward. And I think he's done a great job, not only before his opportunity, but then since then.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach and JT, I'll ask you both. I'm curious as how much you guys have kind of learned about each other, over these past, 4 to 6 weeks plus, how much better do you guys know each other, know what you do well, know what you want to do?
Coach Monken first.
I think there's a part of any relationship that I do think right away when we met, I do think there was a connection there in terms of what we were looking for and what he was looking for moving forward. So I think that was a really good start. You really don't know anybody when you're in the courtship stage, because we were in the recruiting stage. So obviously I'm different than what I might have been for a few weeks trying to recruit him than when he gets here. And good and bad, some better, probably some worse. But from JT's end of it, I'll just speak from my end of it, is that one thing about it is he's a sponge, loves to be coached, loves to have the answers, which is a huge start at the quarterback position. There's a lot of things you can do with JT that you can keep it as quarterback controlled because he's going to study the film. He's going to want to know the answer. You don't have to tell him everything. You don't have to look to the sideline and change the play. He can do that on his own. And he embraces that challenge of being in control. And that is the first step to being an NFL quarterback, is the quarterback being in control. And so it's been great. But from the get-go, it was, because there's never a doubt in terms of the amount of work that JT's willing to put in to be the player he wants to be. Very few people have a love of the process of playing the game of football like JT does.
JT?
Yeah, I would say we speak the same language, especially in terms of football. And it's something that, I learn more as the season goes on. But even when I wasn't playing, I was still on the sideline with Coach Buster, during the game. So I was hearing all the play calls, starting to learn more and more how he thinks and how he understands. And it was, something that I got to learn originally when we were on Zoom calls when I was getting recruited here. We used to watch film and do whatever we could through transfer portal rules. I think it's just grown and developed. And, at this point, there are times where I'll get the formation signaled in and I'll know exactly what he's calling and things like that. It's just, the more I learn about him, the way he calls the game, and, the more time we spend together, that, it just grows and gets better and we have a better understanding.
And it was hard at the beginning because we were building what we want to do offensively. It's hard when you're trying to put together without a spring what we want to do from different places I've been in the staff collectively. So when you're going through things, but there's no guarantee. What we're doing today could have been completely different than what we were introducing in May. It just is, just where we've evolved as active staff. So it's been a good, and I think we're only going to get better and get on the same page more and more as the offseason in 2021.
All right, let's go to Mike Griffith with Dog Nation, and then Mark Weiser, Athens Banner Herald.
JT, I want to ask you, I remember earlier you were talking about doing all the Zoom calls, all the coaches around the country. Obviously, your background as somebody that studies football is well documented all the way back to 6th grade. What was it about Coach Monken, though? I mean, you talked to a lot of offensive gurus. You studied a lot of offenses. You probably could have played anywhere in the country. What was it about Monken that made you know that this was worth traveling across the country to play for him?
Yeah, so there were definitely a lot of great offensive minds I was able to speak to. There was definitely an instant connection. The thing I tried to do with most coaches was see how they call a game, take me through the offense you run, and, your kind of philosophy. And there's an instant, connection as soon as I watched the first game with Coach Monk on, I think my first Zoom call with them. It was just something that he sees the field very similar to how I see the field. I think we both have very similar, kind of philosophy for how to attack a defense. And it was something that, I knew it was exactly, what was best for me.
Hey, Todd, you alluded to 2021. I want to ask both of you and JT, when you look at the progress the offense has made as the season's gone along, where do you see it going with the number of returners that could be coming back for next season?
Well, it's exciting. I did, when I first got here and I saw some of the young skill players, some of the freshman wideouts and the backs that we had, I thought, I think we have a chance to be really good on offense. I don't know when it all comes together as a staff, and when do I do it better for our players? When do our guys mature? George is still a young player as well. When those guys start to mature a little bit. But we are excited about not only the guys that will be playing on Friday, but the young players that we've got, especially the skill positions, that as we're able to move forward, and a guy like JT, who's certainly capable of distributing the ball and understanding where we want to go with the football. So it's an exciting time, especially for me. And, hopefully we'll have a chance to have a legit off season, be able to study what we did, what the difference is that we want to change as we move forward, because college football is different than NFL. There is a lot of differences that I think we'll continue to build off of that and develop who we are as we keep moving forward.
Is that the same for JT?
Yeah, awesome.
There's a lot of talent on the roster, and there's guys that as fans not many have seen yet. That people seen Arian Smith make one catch. Jermaine's growing a lot. You have a whole young group of O linemen that work every day. I've got to see him grow. Guys like Cedric Van Pran, see how they attack the game. I think you have a really good class of young guys that aren't just talented, but are also guys that enjoy the game of football, and they show up every day with a good attitude, and that they're here to learn and get better. So it's something good to see, and something I think you'll get to see. As they grow, you'll see a lot of it next year.
All right, let's go to Dean Legge with Dog Post and Seth Emerson from The Athletic.
Hey, JT, I wanted to ask you kind of a different question. Did you fly out here or drive? And when you did, when you were coming along the way, what was kind of some of the stuff you were thinking about in the car or the plane? Where'd you stop? Did y'all have masks on the whole time? What was that trip like?
I got here in June. I flew out here and I slept the whole plane ride, so I couldn't really tell you.
Okay. What was your immediate reaction, sort of 2-3 weeks in pandemic?
2 to 3 weeks in. I think as soon as I got here, just driving around, you see a lot of Georgia, everything, and that was from Atlanta all the way into Athens. Everywhere you go is Georgia. Everything is football here. And it's something I instantly fell in love with, I think the environment of just the entire state of Georgia, and this is my first time in the state of Georgia. It's something that fits me really well. And that is, it's there's so much support and community around Georgia football, as a whole. And it was something that instantly grabbed my attention, something that I instantly fell in love with.
For Todd, two questions, but related to answer together. When the story of your first season at Georgia is written, how much did Jamie Newman's opt-out decision affect what you had planned to do this season, especially when he opted out? And with everything that happened this year, including no spring practice and the QB situation, has the offense you envisioned when you came here been different than what you envisioned?
Well, first, let's start with Jamie. Not much in terms of changing, because at the time when Jamie was practicing, we were still in competition. Sure, certain things we were doing with guys who were a little bit more athletic that, we probably don't do nearly as much now with JT. But, it's hard to say what you envision. Obviously, it was tough without having spring, and without really, the preparation you'd like. But, at the end of the day, no one really gives a shit. We're in a get it done business. There's a lot of other teams that lose players and that didn't have a spring and changed coaches and didn't have as good of players as we have. So, everybody has their own issues they've got to deal with. And yeah, there's certain things that I wish I could have done better, that I would have coached better. I would have communicated better. I would have made better decisions on game day or during the week in terms of preparation. And that'll never change. And it hasn't as long as I've been coaching. But, obviously we certainly had our opportunities at Alabama. We certainly did. And we certainly had our opportunities at Florida and didn't take advantage of it, just speaking offensively. But I am excited about the guys that we do have. I really, really enjoy our staff. I think our staff does a great job collectively in the areas that they have in terms of game planning, in terms of bringing ideas to the table, because this is never a one-man show. It never can be. And coaches want to be involved in terms of their areas, contributing to the game plan. I just happen to be the one that finalizes things and gets a chance to call it. But I'm really excited about our staff moving forward and our young players.
Right, let's go to Charles Odom, Associated Press, and then Jake Rowe, Dogs 247.
Or JT, can you talk about your development since taking over at quarterback, in terms of how much of the playbook has been made open to you, and how much more freedom have you been given now that you've had the extra bowl prep?
I wouldn't say there's too much extra, in terms of freedom. It was something that instantly Coach Monken had told me on my first call that, made me want to come here, is that there wasn't really you don't have to develop the ability to do that. We want quarterbacks that can, play the game and, get us in the right play before the play is snapped. So I've always, every quarterback here since, the offense was installed, we have the ability to, versus certain look check to something, or if we're in a certain play and, there's something that's stopping that play, get us in the right play. So it's always been there. I wouldn't say there's much, anything that's too new in terms of that and, what we're doing. But it's something that, we've always been able to do, get us in the right play. And we have the freedom to do that, before any play.
JT, I've heard a lot of talk about 2021 and everything. So I just wanted to ask you directly, what are your plans for next year? Have you, are you coming back? And then Coach Monken, how big would it be for your offense? How much would it mean for what you want to do to have JT come back?
Yeah, it's not, something I've honestly given too much thought to. This year's going by fast, and I'm focused week to week. South Carolina, I was focused on South Carolina. Missouri, I was focused on Missouri. Vandy, I was focused on Vandy until that was no more. And then since then, I haven't gone home since I've been in Georgia. I've been here. I was here through Christmas, here through Thanksgiving, and I've been here getting ready for the bowl, since that Vandy week was over. So I really haven't given too much thought to anything. This week is Cincinnati, and then once the offseason comes, we'll, I'll be thinking about the offseason.
And I think, very similar wise, it's I think our guys have done a pretty good job of the task at hand, which is the game this Friday. Join one more game together with this team. We have a number of guys that, is going to be their last game as a Georgia Bulldog. Obviously, it's been a different year in terms of just off-season, season, travel, how we go about things. So I'm just excited about one more opportunity together with this group come Friday.
All right, let's go to Roddy Nabulsi, UGA Sports, and David Pascal, Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Coach Monken, can you tell us a little bit about what you expect to get out of Brock Vandagriff now that he's won a state title and he should be headed to UGA to join your quarterback room? And JT Daniels, if you would just clarify something for me, but you basically committed to Georgia sight unseen. You'd never been to the state, you'd never been to the school, just traveled, just decided, hey, that's where I'm going, just showed up with a backpack and clothes?
Coach Smart met my parents before he met me.
How did you go about that? Just to say, look, I've never even been to the state, but I'm going to go play ball there.
Yeah, location didn't mean anything to me. It was best situation, best team, best staff, and I found all three of those in one school. Did not matter to me where it was.
All right, JT got me laughing. I forgot what the question was. Can I get a
basically give us a breakdown of what Georgia's getting in Brock Vandagriff? Because
there we go. I wasn't like I'd forgotten about Brock, but when I first got here, and I was talking with Kirby, he talked about a quarterback being right down the road, a young man that had been committed to Oklahoma, but was trying to, if he could stay closer to home. I think what you're getting is a high-level competitor. It's one thing being around him, for a young man. He loves to compete. Football. He loves the weight room. He played through the back half of their year with an issue with his knee that resolved. So, you talk about someone that, obviously his dad being a coach and being around it his whole life and athletics, and his sisters are athletic and competitive. And so you just love that about him, how much he enjoys the process of being a really good player and competing. To me, that's probably the biggest thing is he's a competitive joker.
This is for JT and Todd. Given the way this season has transpired and the way this offense has kind of started to come together, the performances at South Carolina and Missouri, are you disappointed this is the last game? I mean, do you wish you had 4 or 5 more games to kind of see? Because it kind of still feels like this offense is in the development stage right now.
JT, you take that first.
Yeah, I do feel like we've been really hot. As of lately, I think a lot of young guys have matured, tremendously, from George to Jermaine to Big Warren on the line. There's a lot of guys that have gotten a lot better, and I think you're seeing what that's looking like now. Obviously a little later than we would have hoped. I'd love to play with this team forever. It's an amazing team. I think there's great central leadership. There's a lot of great things to this team, but obviously that's not the case. For me, I'm just focused on giving, Cincinnati, the best we have. It is, as Coach Monken said it a lot this week, and this is the last opportunity to play with this whole team. As much as I'd love to keep going and keep playing with these guys, this is the last one, so we're gonna go, give it everything we have.
Yeah, it's been an interesting run, over the weeks that we've had, with some games being canceled and who we played, and our guys maturing. And I'll just reiterate what JT said. It's interesting. I don't think any given week at a certain point we took for granted that we would play. It got to the point where, certain games are being canceled or moved. And we've been going at it a long time. I mean, since we came back in June, and our players have been off the chart in terms of how they've worked and prepared and understood to control what they can control. It's been a long grind. I mean, it has been for our guys, and, students as a whole, this has not been easy for them. And the enjoyment of a college environment and home games, and, we didn't get our seniors, didn't get a home, finale here for senior day. So they've been awesome and been about as good as you could ask from our team to keep working, and it's continued. And I'm just excited about, seeing how we can finish off the year this Friday.
Okay, we just got time for one more question. Let's go to Connor Riley, Dog Nation.
Hey, Todd, what have you made of the progression of Darnell Washington this year, and how do you go about trying to get tight ends involved in your offense?
Well, first of all, Darnell has, from the moment that I saw him, you can certainly see the upside of a big, athletic, tough young man. I mean, you can just see that, what his upside can be as a raw player. And to boot, he is an awesome kid. I mean, he is an awesome kid, always smiling, got a great disposition about him. But it is hard at times because we did have Trey McKitty who came here. And, you know, with Fitz and him and trying to get the guys on the field to maximize their measurable skill set and what they do well as a young player, try not to overload Darnell early on has been difficult. Now, as he's progressed, and we've gotten more and more comfortable quarterback and be calling it in him. Obviously, we tried to get him involved a little bit more at Missouri, you know, as the game progressed. And I do think he's got an unbelievable upside. And it is hard, you know, for our guys because there is really only one ball. So really good running backs. And I promise you, if you ask them, they'd want more touches. And, you know, for a while there, everybody was on my ass about not getting it to George. And, you know, then Jermaine makes some plays and then everybody wants to throw it to Jermaine, and Kieris is doing great. So that's just part of what we do. You're just hopeful that you have enough skilled players to where they have to defend the whole field and all the players that are on the field are capable of making plays, which I think is a sign of a really good offense. The best offenses have that in terms of weapons of tight ends, wideouts, and running backs, I think, which gives you the opportunity to take advantage of mismatches and make them defend the field.
Thanks, Coach Monken. JT, thank you all. You can be excused. And we'll continue on here momentarily with a couple of offensive players. Everyone stand by.
We're now going to be joined by Zamir White, Kieris Jackson. The first person I'm going to call on is going to be Chip Towers with AJC, followed by Anthony Dasher with UJSports.com. Chip, do you have a question? Chip, I think, just sat right back down.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just stepped away for a second. Y'all were quick on me. Kieris, just real quick, what has been your view of the development of the offense since JT came on the scene? Not comparing him with any quarterbacks before, but how have things changed in the offense, and what's different that you'll take into the Cincinnati game?
We've been more efficient. We've been able to stay on the field, convert on third downs, make big plays when needed, and just continue to stay on the field and move the ball. We've been more efficient just by the pass game and the running game being balanced, and put the carry over to the game this week.
Hey, Zamir, my question is for you. You kind of explain how going through all the things you've gone through on the field has made you the football player you are, and how are you better for it?
I'll say just going through it with my teammates. It's a lot better for me just being there for me and just working hard with them guys and my coaching staff and my family being there for me. So yeah, it's been great.
All right, up next, let's have Mike Griffith with Dog Nation and Dean Legge with Dog Post.
Hey, Zamir, we were talking to some Cincinnati players, and they were talking about toughness. And I think the corner said they feel like there's, as tough as Power 5. I guess I would just ask you about that toughness element to a football game. You seem to be a guy, a tone setter when you run it up in the hole there. You seem to not be too shy about contact. How important is it for teams to establish toughness? And what are your thoughts about a program like Cincinnati that doesn't play in the SEC, saying they feel like they can jump in the ring and match SEC toughness?
I personally feel like no matter who you play, you got to go out there and just play hard. So, it really don't matter to me. Everything has to be physical and just play hard.
My question is for both guys. What was y'all's reaction? When did y'all know for sure that y'all would not play that final game against Vanderbilt? And how quickly did you turn towards this game for the seniors and so forth?
Zamir first.
I cannot. I can't even remember when we found out, but I wanted to play the game. Well, we wanted to play the game badly, so like we were just like disappointed. But like we just figured that the bowl game would be fun for us. So like we just go bounce back this week and just play hard and just try to get that W.
All right, Kiris.
I want to say we found out towards like the beginning of that week, around like Tuesday, that Van decided it wasn't going to play. I mean, it was tough on us because we only had 3 home games this year and a lot of road games. So it wasn't quite exciting just to be able to play in front of our home fans one more time. But now we get the opportunity to play a great bowl game right in our backyard in Atlanta, and we're going to take full advantage of it and every opportunity just to go out there and play our best game.
All right, up next, let's have Jake Rowe with Dogs 247 and then Seth Emerson with The Athletic.
Zamir, with your injury situation and everything you've kind of been through there, I mean, are you considering coming back next year? Have you made that decision? I guess the same for you too, Kiris, because you're also draft eligible. What are you guys' plans for next year?
I'm just trying to like focus on this season right here and just like end right with the win. So like I'm not really focused on that right now.
Same like what Zamir said. I haven't really thought about what's my plan for after the season. I'm just focused on the bowl game and hopefully we get the win.
Yeah.
Also for both guys, now having worked under Coach Monken for a year, how would you describe him as a coach, and what's this year been like working with him?
Kiris, you want to take that one first?
I can take it. It's been working with Coach Monk has been quite different, especially with him coming as our new OC, having to learn through Zooms, and just having not been able to be around him the whole year has been kind of a challenge because like just learning new offense through Zoom. Tough, but once we got on campus, we could just tell he's a lead type of guy. I could tell what he likes to do with the offense, and he has put us in situations to be successful. And it has been quite exciting this year, especially towards the end of this season. By the way, we've been performing these last couple of weeks, and it's been fun just seeing us putting points on the board.
Just like Kiara said, at first it was kind of different because of like the Zoom calls and not really like being like actually like doing stuff. But like, once we did get here, like it was very simple, and like Coach Monken really broke it down for us, and yeah, like we just rolled on from there.
All right, up next, let's have Charles Odom with AP and then Ryan Nabelsi with UJSports.com.
For Kieras, Cincinnati's defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman today said he believes that JT probably has the strongest arm that he's faced in his time there as defensive coordinator. For you on the field, what does that arm strength mean to you? What kind of confidence does that bring to you guys as receivers?
It brings a lot of confidence to us as a unit on offense, just knowing that we can throw the ball downfield if we need to, and just knowing that we have a quarterback who is reliable, able to throw the ball downfield, and we have great receivers on the outside and within the slot that we know we can run past guys. And it would be quite a challenge because Cincinnati has a great defense and especially a great pass defense. So it'd be a great challenge to see what they bring. And of course, we're gonna come with our A game as well.
Question for Zamir and Kiris. Both of you, if you would, give me your impressions of what it's like in the huddle with JT Daniels, not in comparison to the other guys, but, things were obviously a bit more productive with him in there. And if you would, just kind of give me something he said in this huddle to you guys, something he's done. You don't have to give me a story, but just give us some insight into what JT Daniels is like on the field.
You want to go first?
Oh.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, he's like just a vocal guy. Like he's like always talking and just always joking around. So like, yeah, like for me, like in like the backfield with him, like it's just fun. So yeah, that's all really for me.
Just being around JT, you'll actually learn like how smart he is. He's very intelligent guy. He's able to make checks. He sees things that we don't see. He just puts us in a great position to be successful. Just preaching out reads, anything like that. I feel like a great job up to this point just by managing the game, and that just comes with experience and confidence.
All right, up next, let's have David Pascal with Chattanooga and then Connor Riley with Dog Nation.
Yeah, for both players. I mean, we all know how this season has transpired, and we know that Friday is your last game. Given your performances at South Carolina and Missouri and the way this offense has come together, do you wish you had like 3 or 4 or 5 more games together, given what this offense has kind of done lately? Or has this been so much of a grind that you're glad it's almost over?
No, we definitely wish we had them 3 more games, but but I don't know. Yeah, we definitely wish it though.
Yeah, of course I love the game of football, and if I'm given the opportunity to go play a game, I'm going to go play it. So it's just knowing this is our last game and what's all on the line, especially for a Peach Bowl right in our backyard. It's like you get all you got, like laying on the line. So it's your last time putting on the uniform in 2020, and you got to take full advantage of it. It's like how you want to walk into the 2021 year feeling after the game. We just played in the Peach Bowl, so we just focusing on how we're going to go out there and play and just have fun doing it.
Hey, Zamir, you had your first real start last year in the Sugar Bowl. How much do you think that game and playing in the starter's role in that game really helped you?
I feel like that game helped my confidence out and just getting back there, getting back out there as a starter, just being like back in my groove and just getting the rust off. So yeah, like that game was definitely like a big part of my starting out.
All right, up next, let's have Palmer Toombs with Dog Nation, and then we might open up for a couple more.
Yeah, for both guys, just looking at the offense and how young it is, has there been any sort of discussion about, if everyone were to come back, all the pieces were to be there, that there's a lot of talent returning in 2021 and what the potential for that could be?
Yeah, it has been a lot of talk about potential starters for next year, but that's a long way from now. It's a lot of planning and a lot of things have to go down before we get to that moment, but we're not really focusing on that right now. We're just focusing on finishing out this game and just enjoying this team and the players that we have right now, because this year's team is not going to be the same next year. So we just got to enjoy the guys who are here now and see us out with a win.
Yeah, like Kiara said, we're just trying to send singers out right, but with a win, and just focus on us right now.
All right, let's now have Anthony Patterson.
Hey, Kieras and Zamir. These kind of 2 separate questions. For Kieras, this year you've been able to get more into the offense to be a vital player as far as playmaking and everything. Do you attribute to having more opportunities this year, or just being able to put in work to earn more of a starting role, or is it a little bit of both? And for Zamir, we know you had the injuries and just being able to fight back. What does it mean to just be at this point this year, having a starting role and being able to be that main tailback that, Monken and the Bulldogs want to go to?
Basically what you said, it was just opportunity based. I was given the opportunity this year to make plays, and I I did make the plays because it's like I know what I can do. My teammates and my coaches know what I can do. It was just the small things like injuries holding me back. But now, like I said, I'm 100%, and it's like I'm trying to give it all I got every time I'm on the field, because you never know when it'll be your last play. And just take every opportunity, just give it your best at everything you do, because it's like you never know what can happen. You never know when it's your last play. So just playing every snap, every down like it's your last, and just knowing what I wanted out of this season, just knowing that last year in the season I was looking forward to, but now just being more involved in the offense, I'm actually enjoying it, I'm having fun, and I still feel like there's more inside me that I haven't shown yet, and hopefully I get to showcase it this game.
For me, like, I'm just blessed to be here. just playing on this team. And I'm just truly grateful for my teammates and my coaches and my family all for just believing in me after like my injuries and stuff like that. So like, yeah, and just blessed. So yes, sir.
All right, we have time for about 2 more questions. Anyone want to jump in?
Zamir, how much confidence do you guys have in the running game, the way you've run the ball since the Mississippi State game? And without Ben Cleveland, what kind of change does that make with you guys' run blocking?
I feel like the linemen, bro, that's up next are ready to go. So we're pretty confident. Like we just grinding hard at practice and just working on it. So yes, sir, we gonna be all right.
All right, any more questions for Zamir Kears?
Garris, I'm just curious to get your thoughts on the narrative of this game is going to be Cincinnati as a group of 5, and they're going to be hungry in this game, and Georgia is a Power 5 that didn't get where it wants to be, and it's not going to be hungry. How would you answer that narrative?
They have to put they uniform on just like we have to put our uniform on. Like they're humans as well, and like we just so happy was fortunate enough to get us offered to this type of school. But at the same time, we all football players. It's like whoever goes there, who's going to depend on who wants it more and who has practiced hard enough to want it. And it's nothing in the Power 5. It has nothing to do with nothing. It's just a higher rank, it's just a higher name of a school. But like I said, it just depends on who comes out to play harder because any team can be beat.
All right, thanks so much, Zamir and Kears.
Thank y'all.
All right, everyone, we are ready to get started with Warren Erickson and Jamari Sawyer. First, we're going to start with Anthony Dasher with UGAsports.com, followed by Chip Towers with AJC.
Hey, Jamari, how does the offensive line, be in a similar situation, last year for the bowl game where you had to replace a couple of stars up front, possibly help you this time around?
Just like you said, we went through it before. We had that experience. So, a lot of those younger guys were there. A lot of those guys that were freshmen last year, sophomores now, so they were there. So we have more of that culture of like, okay, we understand what has to be done. We understand how to approach this game. I think it was kind of different from going from my freshman year to my sophomore year because all those guys basically came back and then we were missing all those guys, So all those guys played in the Sugar Bowl. And then at my sophomore year, half those guys did it. So I think this year we got a pretty good game plan going into it. And we're excited about the guys that got to step up.
Thanks, man.
Warren, based on Peach Bowl photos, it looks like you're playing center for this game. I don't know how much you want to commit to that or whatever, but can you just talk about, obviously, Big Ben's not going to be over there at the right guard spot, and how do you anticipate, that shoring up together, how that might work out?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, Ben's gone, and wish him all the best. And when he was in there, he definitely made a difference. But like Jamar said, we're confident in the guys that we got, and whoever's going to step up to the plate is going to play really well. And like you said, we're excited about it.
All right, up next, let's have Jake Rowe, Ducks 247, and then followed by Mark Weiser with Athens Banner Herald.
Hey, guys. Jamari, I just want to ask you straight up, what are your plans for next year? Are you coming back? And then, Warren, who's working beside you there at right guard right now, and who's going to kind of take over for Ben?
Well, I haven't decided yet on what I want to do. I'm still, talking to my family, talking to the coaches, just trying to make a good, clean decision, something that I'm confident in, something that I feel good about. I feel good about both options, but I haven't really, chosen one or the other yet. So, I'm still in that decision process, but, time will tell.
We're kind of taking it day by day. We had different guys moving at different positions. We want the best guys out there to give us the best win. So I've moved over, played a little bit of right guard, had second, play a little bit of center, had Schaefer move around a little bit. So had Truss come in and Jamar move around a little bit. So we've just been moving around, and I think game time is when we'll truly find out who will be there.
Jamari, how do you think you've developed this year playing at left tackle? And are you do you see yourself playing guard at the next level? And if you come back to Georgia, do you think you'll stay at left tackle or move inside?
It's been a challenge. It's been fun. I feel like the off season, the work I put in, during quarantine and stuff, definitely helped me out a lot to prepare for this season. It was different. You can feel the difference out there. A lot of good pass rushers in the SEC. A lot of good pass rushers. So it was fun. I had a great time, and I feel like the speed of the game was something that I definitely kept on building on as the year goes, because some weeks you could face a 4.3 guy, 4.4 guy that's 260. Some weeks you could play a big guy that's 300 that can't move as well. So, just adjusting different speeds and just adjusting different quarterbacks. I mean, playing left tackle, you got to be able to block for Stetson, who can run, and JT may not be able to run as good, but they both bring different things to the plate. So, just adjusting, and even to DeJuan. So, yeah, just approaching those different challenges week to week definitely helped me out as a player. And, playing against good players every day, Aziz, Jermaine, those guys could rush the passer. So just those challenges every day just helped me become 10 times better player than I was when I walked in the door.
Thank you.
All right, up next, let's have Seth Emerson with The Athletic, and then Charles Odom with AP.
For both Jamari and Warren, working under Coach Monken for a year in what has been a year that he could not have predicted, or anyone could have predicted when he took this job, between the pandemic, Jamie opting out when he did. What's it been like? What's been your view of this offense under Coach Monken, and has it been affected what he originally wanted to do, you think, by all this?
Mari, you want to start first?
Yeah, I think he gives us a good chance to be explosive. He's very critical. He's very demanding. He likes what he likes. He wants things to look a certain way, and if they're not, then keep doing it over and over and over and over again. Warren can tell you about that. I mean, we'll take a rep on one play 5 or 6 times so we get it right. So yeah, he's very particular, but it gives us a chance to be explosive. We still have that same physical run game that we have, but I mean, we have games where JT threw 300 yards, almost 400 yards. So yeah, I mean, we have a chance to be really, really, truly balanced under our Coach Monken, and I'm glad that he's here.
Yeah, just to bounce off that, he's very particular in what he wants. He's going to coach as hard as he possibly can, and he demands perfection. Something that us as players really respect, and because we want it perfect, we want to get out on Saturdays, we want to get it perfect. So I think the practice aspect of that has been really good. And then, just like Jamari said, just being a balanced attack. I mean, we want to throw the ball really well, we want to run the ball really cool and really hard. So I think that he came in and he had that mindset, and so I think we kind of accepted his plan, and we're just keep rolling with it.
For both players, you guys and your teammates have obviously made some smart decisions this season, getting through this pandemic. But yesterday we picked up a increased, heightened sense of stress from Coach Smart as the numbers have risen locally. How has it been for you guys getting to the finish line here? Have you guys picked up on a heightened sense of need to be careful?
Warren, you want to start first?
Yeah, I think just like you hit it nail on the head, we got to be careful with everything. Every single day in our team meeting, Coach Smart addresses us and with a picture that says, wear your mask, wash your hands. And that's kind of like what our team has been about this whole entire time since July we came back to campus. So we wanted this. We wanted this season to happen. And as a team, we want to do everything we possibly can to make sure we're safe and that we can keep playing games.
Yeah, just to bounce off what he said, I mean, we've seen that message every day. Every day we practice, every day we meet, that message is on the board, wear your mask, wash your hands. So it's always been important to us, not just now with the heightened sense, because it was heightened at another point. I think when we first came back, we were having an increase in numbers in the fall. So, yeah, I think just, making sure that stays an emphasis, especially now with the holidays season. So, we have a lot of people, especially going to Atlanta, we have a lot of people, just coming to the city, a lot of tourism. So, yeah, we just got to really be careful and understand that, it's not just about the season. It's about safety. It's about our families. It's about coaches. Got a lot of older coaches on the staff, it's about their families. And then so it's about you guys, too. So it's about everybody. It's a worldwide thing. So not just being safe for the season, but being safe for everybody.
All right, up next, let's have David Pascal with Chattanooga and then Rodney Nabal, CTJSports.com.
Yeah, for both players, if given the choice, what y'all have been through since July with the pandemic and the grind that it's been, Are you glad that this is the last game, or when you consider the way this offense has come together and the fact that y'all have almost touched 50 points the last 2 times out, do you wish you had 3 or 4 more games, given the developing offense that y'all are all having fun with?
Murray, why don't you start first?
You're right. It has been a long season, but we're around here. We like to compete. We like to compete. We like to go out. And we like to show what we got every week. So if we get a chance to compete, I'm sure we'll take it every time. But yeah, it has been a long season, and it wears and tears on the body. But that's the next level all day. 16 weeks and plus the playoffs. So that's just what it is. If you want to survive at that level, then you can't complain about it now when you have the opportunity to experience it. So. But as far as us, as our offense is coming along, I think we have kind of hit a good stride. Very excited about a lot of the young guys that are coming along. Excited that we have a quarterback back there that's throwing it and commanding the offense and everything's in our rhythm. We rushed for 300 and threw for 300 last game or something like that. So yeah, it was really excited for us to be able to have the opportunity to go out and compete again against a great football team. We had 3 or 4 more opportunities. We'll line up and play those too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Jamari stole everything I was going to say. We here we would every single week in, week out, we want to go in and we want to play as hard as we can. And if we did it throughout the rest of the season until March or whatever, we'll keep doing that. But it has been a long season. I think just like Jamari said, we want to. Our end goal is to get to the next level in the NFL, and then those guys continue to play. And so I think that we just got to mentally be ready for that. And yeah, this has been surely exciting, ups and downs, and we've had Stetson was in, we had great games, and when JT's been in, we had great games. So I think it's just a competitive aspect that we continue to play really hard, really physical, put numbers up on the board, and put really good, numbers as far as running the ball and passing the ball. We just want to dominate everything we can.
Warren, Jamari, you mentioned JT Daniels being in command. You mentioned him having success back there, commanding the offense. Can you both give us a JT Daniels memory, a story, or something that's happened on the field so we can kind of get an idea of what it's like in the huddle or up on the line of scrimmage?
Jamari, you want to start? Or Warren?
Oh, man. A JT Daniels story.
Yeah, I got 3.
You got one more?
I don't know, man. JT's a character, man. He's calm and collected, but he's witty a little aspect. He's real cool in the huddle, and he gives you confidence. I would say definitely in our meetings, when we're all together as an offense, Coach Coach will be up there looking at the board, and it'll be like, JT, what are you thinking on this play? And JT will go through and give us 7 individual steps about things that he see and things he can change up. He's just so methodical about things he does, and he thinks out so much, and his football mind is just off the charts. So I would say that's it. He's calm, cool, collected, and he's one of those guys that he's gonna know exactly where to put the ball if any situation comes up.
Let's see. I remember I think it was his first game, Mississippi State. I think one of their blitzes got through, and he got hit pretty hard. He got hit really hard, and I was like, wow, this kid just took his first hit. In my head, I'm like, okay, how's he gonna react? He's gonna lay on the ground. He's gonna be broken. But he got up, he hit me again. He told the defender, he's like, hit me again. It's that wasn't hard on him. I think he threw a touchdown on that play too. So I think he had a reason to say that. But yeah, he was pretty jacked up, and I was like, okay, cool. We got a tough kid, because. We don't always get the toughest guys come in, but that guy's tough. That guy's tough, and he got up off the ground and he kept throwing the ball. He threw it and threw it and threw it for 400. So yeah, he's tough.
Thanks, guys.
All right, up next, let's have Palmer Toombs with Dogs 247, and then Connor Riley with Dog Nation.
Yeah, this one's for both players. At this time last year, y'all were both getting ready for your first game under Matt Luke. What's the first year with him been like, and what do you think the biggest change from Pittman to Luke has been?
Jamari, you want to start?
Yeah. It's crazy. I remember asking the same question a year ago. So Coach Luke, he's more of a spot the ball and go play type of guy. He's a teacher. He can teach, but he likes us to go play. He wants us to go play. He wants us to go play fast, go play physical. Same thing with Coach Pitt, but Coach Luke is more of a high energy guy, more of a big rah-rah guy. Likes to get everybody pumped and energized, and he likes the energy and enthusiasm. And you can tell he really loves like coaching. He really loves what he does every day. He shows up with a mindset to be the best coach in the world, and I think he is. You know, he really does show that every day, and I'm really excited to have played for him for a year. You know, he's just shown me a lot. He's shown everybody a lot, and you know, he brings a different type of swagger to our group. But yeah, I mean, those two guys, they're very good at the top of their profession. Even, you know, Coach Pitt just even moved up. So yeah, but when he was an O-line coach, those were probably two of the top ones that you would see. So yeah, those two guys are really good at what they do. And, they're both really great coaches.
This is for both. Oh, sorry.
No, I think Jamari hit it on the head. I mean, he's bringing enthusiasm every single day, like meetings, practice, whatever it is. Like, he's gonna be the guy, he's gonna be the loudest. He's gonna. I said this interview before. Like, George Pickens will catch like a 50-yard bomb, and like he'll be like one of the first guys like sprinting down there to go like give him a high five or something like that on the practice field. So he's that kind of guy. He wants just to bring the energy all the time, and something that's like he's instilled with us. And I think both of them bring different aspects to the table. I think they're both great teachers, different techniques, different things like that. So I think Jamar can speak on this too. I mean, I think we can both grab like different things that both of them have taught us and just continue to get better as players.
Hey guys, how has JT sort of changed or evolved from when he first got on campus, I guess back in June, to where he is now?
Jamar, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a growing period when they first get here, whether it's a freshman, whether it's a grad transfer. I mean, they all grow, they all become more social. That's how it starts. You become more social, then you become more confident, and then you just start playing. You know, then things just start clicking for you. It's like a light bulb that switches one day. And you know, he had a bit of a rough patch, you know, in fall camp and stuff. You know, he was getting adjusted because you know, our defense is. You'll see some blitzes and some coverages and do stuff in that third down period that ain't nobody ever seen before, and I ain't never seen before in no football field. But they get home and they make plays, so our defense is very good. So I think he was just getting adjusted to that and understanding that, wow, these guys can really play. And once he started making those strides and getting those reps with the scout team, man, he came back. And once we brought him back with the ones in the travel team, man, he was throwing the ball and it had a different spin to it. You know, he had a different level of confidence. He's cool, that cool, calm, and collective kid that y'all see on Saturdays. He's always that kid, you know. He's like Warren says, he's like a textbook. Like when it comes to coverages and what we do on this play and that play. I mean, it's like when you hear him spit it out, it's crazy. It's like Google or something. But yeah, man, he's got a different level of confidence, and you know, we're really happy to have him.
Yeah, I think just like everything Jamar said, I think used to the speed of the game, the SEC. I think, yeah, getting used to all the exotic blitzes our defense has, is our defense is good, and they're gonna bring some stuff that you've never seen before and run it to like a precision. So I just think that, I mean, he came in and he was still recovering from his knee injury too. So I think all of that just kind of, and then like Tamar said, I think once he kind of got like his feet on him and getting used to the system, used to SEC, used to the, I think that he just had just sprung just to the player he is right now.
All right, that's all we have time for. Thanks so much, Jamari and Warren.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks everyone for attending, and we'll get back to you about the next availability.